Well, it was a natural disaster that stole lives and headlines, devastating a Washington community. That landslide in Oso, Washington was the kind of disaster where first responders and emergency help from around the country came together and rallied to try to make a difference, helping the people there pull their lives back together, or at least make the first steps towards that. But others weren't so lucky, and a special team from Phoenix was called in to help locate those who wouldn't be coming home. Two men.
Regular job description as firefighter engineer, but I'm also a canine search specialist.
And their dogs.
You were put right in the middle of it.
Searching.
Very cold.
Through deadly mud and debris.
Very wet.
For those who didn't stand a chance against Mother Nature.
Our dogs are trained to detect human remains.
John Dean with his dog Booter and Tim Steckler and Rogue trained here in this rubble for 5 months, not knowing they'd be called in for a landslide that killed at least 30 people in Oso, Washington.
The mud in places was 60, 70 feet deep.
These two veterans were used to being on the fire lines in Phoenix. We're now deep in what used to be forest, at times searching right alongside the relatives of the very people who were missing.
I think that was some of the significant differences for us, is that you just were immersed and embedded in this community and became a part of it, which was entirely different than anything we'd experienced before.
They were one of 20 search teams looking for the unthinkable, an entire community that had simply vanished. And now the human remains training that was new to these canines was needed.
Ready? Hup.
And it was a skill set Phoenix Fire knew it had to have after our own disaster last summer in Yarnell.
Like the Yarnell fire, those areas still need to be cleared. There's people missing, there's people unaccounted for, and the dogs can do it much quicker with a higher degree of accuracy.
The Washington deployment was the dog's first real test, and on Easter morning, a boat search became the canine's biggest challenge.
Booter's behavior had changed at one point during the actual search when the wind was in his face. And so because of that, the boat team directed their search activities into this one particular area.
And with that, the team had their first official recovery. And a family would have answers and even a chance for a proper burial.
We're just there to help support them the best way that we can so that they themselves might be able to find some peace with the closure of finding their loved ones.
And here's the strangest part of this story. Had Yarnell not happened, the idea for training dogs for this kind of mission might not have come up.